So watch this, right?
Saudi Arabia will be investing at least $600 billion in America, but I'll be asking the Crown Prince, who's a fantastic guy, to round it out to around $1 trillion. I think they'll do that because we've been very good to them. And I'm also going to ask Saudi Arabia and OPEC to bring down the cost of oil. You got to bring it down, which frankly, I'm surprised they didn't do before the election. That didn't show a lot of love by them not doing it. I was a little surprised by that. If the price came down, the Russia-Ukraine war would end immediately. Right now, the price is high enough that that war will continue. You got to bring down the oil price. You got to end that war. They should have done it long ago.
So I wanted to make this video to explain to you the Russian-Ukraine issues and Zelensky, US and European issues and what is really happening now, because many people have been asking me to explain because they don't understand what's happening. Why is Trump putting tariffs everywhere? Why is Europe all over the place? Why is France? You know, what is really happening? I think this video actually breaks down what is happening. If you are smart, you would have picked up what is happening. But I'm just going to chip in some things and be careful in what I say. But if you understand what's up, you already can pick the information. So, number one, Trump is trying to create the greatest economy US has ever had, which will translate to the greatest economy the world has ever had. Simple. Do you understand? Because US influences many countries, because many countries sell their petrol in US dollars. So if US economy gets better, all these countries' economy will get better. Do you understand? Now, one of the key problems Trump has to solve to be able to accomplish this is that oil prices have to come down. Because when Russia-Ukraine was fighting, the Nord pipeline that Russia used to supply oil to Europe. Now, the pipeline was blown. Nobody knows who blew it. Me, myself, I don't know. But it just blew. So the oil is not getting to Europe again. So this kind of affected oil prices because now Europe has to find a way to buy oil. So Trump is trying to end that Ukraine war, possibly reconnect that pipeline, and then bring down the oil prices. You in Africa already know that if the oil prices are high, like the petrol fuel prices, if they're high, or some people call it gas prices, if they're high, within a month, every other thing in the country becomes more expensive. The average person on the street starts struggling because salaries don't increase with the cost of petrol. So if the global oil prices come down, the local ones will come down too, almost at the same time. And once it comes down, the country becomes better. Life becomes more affordable for the average person on the street. So if you're an average person on the street and you're against Trump, it's because you don't understand what is happening. Now, Trump is against a cabal, OPEC. OPEC is a group of stakeholders that control oil prices all over the world. Trump, in that video, said they called the key guy there. I said, look, oil prices have to come down. You understand? Oil prices have to come down because people are cashing out based on the high oil prices. I don't want to mention their names, but just know that when things are expensive, it means somebody's cashing out somewhere. Major cash out. So as long as they are cashing out, they won't want the Russia-Ukraine war to end. So Trump, in his power as US president, is trying to mandate OPEC to bring down the oil prices. Once they bring it down, the war in Ukraine will be meaningless to continue. Do you understand? So it's a chess game he's playing there. And he's up against cabal. So the only thing now is that he's US president. So it's no longer easy for people to take him out. The time he was really at risk was when he won the election and was now about to become president. There was this 2 months, 1 or 2 months gap where he was really in danger. They said he booked, he was flying 2 different private jets, his own and then a decoy, you know. And he took so many security measures that time. But the thing is that he has become president now. So before you criticize this man, you need to understand where he's coming from. You get, and how it's affecting you. In fact, the price of dollar is becoming better now, and it's already trickling down in some countries. You notice that the product, goods and services prices are gradually coming down a little. If you look at the dollar exchange rate in your country, you see that it's gradually adjusting better. And this is within 1 month, just 1 month. Now imagine what's going to happen over the course of a year. It's my best in my own personal prediction, and I want to note today's date. I think today's, I can't remember, first week of March, 7th March, 2025. That by December this year, the price of dollar would have come down. Like your local currency would have adjusted better. And it will now look like your president is doing extremely well all of a sudden. Because he's the one to take, he's the one that will take, credit for that. But it's only people that understand international politics knows where this thing is coming from. And think of when price of oil will come down too. All of a sudden, the country will become better. You know, people's salaries can now be enough to take them through the month. And people will think the president is amazing. No, it's Trump that is pulling the strings. Now, when it comes to what Zelensky did, he went to Trump's Oval Office and started arguing. You need to understand where he's coming from. Number one is that, of course, he's arguing for his country. But number two is that Trump was not the one that put him in power, in quote. The powers that be might be controlling him on what to tell Trump. You get? Now, many of them still think that Trump is an aspiring politician or aspiring president. They have forgotten that he's now the U.S. president. You know, many people were trained to look at Trump as somebody that is erratic. The media has trained people to look at Trump as somebody that is erratic, uncoordinated, doesn't know what he's saying, you know, mentally unstable, and so on. You get what I'm saying? Somebody they can easily argue with. Every time Trump comes for interview, the media presenter is always arguing with him. So this is how people are trained to see him for years. So now he has become the president, proving them wrong, that he's a very an actually well-calculated genius. They still want to treat him that way, forgetting now that he now wields the highest power on earth, the power of the U.S. president. You understand? He's wielding the power now. He's no longer an ordinary politician. So when Zelensky was arguing with him, it was an insult. So after the cameras were shut down, he said they should kick the guy out. He said they should take the guy out of the Oval Office. That was how they sent Zelensky out. You understand? They sent him out. The guy forgot that he's dealing with the most powerful man on earth now. He's no longer Trump, the politician. He's now the president of the United States of America, almost. That can change governments. If you fuck up in your country as president, they can change you from there. I'm not saying they do it though. I'm saying that they have the power to do that. Look at, if you listen to his speech yesterday, he said that the U.S. needs Greenland. And guess what? The colonial masters of the people in Greenland, the Greenlanders, are the Denmark. Now, if U.S. moves to take Greenland, what would Denmark do? Do you understand what I'm saying? What would Denmark do? Can they fight U.S.? So what Denmark has done so far is that they have increased their defense budget by, I think, $1 billion or so. Well, come on, do you know how much is U.S. defense budget? I think 800 billion. So there's no way on earth. So people still mistakenly look at Trump as, look at what Trump just did in Ukraine. He said, Ukraine, you have to stop the war. You understand? Make a deal with Russia immediately. Ukraine is still arguing. Trump said, okay, we are cutting off all your military assistance. Zelensky now sent a letter to Trump and said, please, we are now ready to negotiate. This is after he's argued in the Oval Office. The next day again, Zelensky came out and now said he will never negotiate with Putin. That's obviously to show you that there are so many strings pulling the guy. The guy is going through things in the background. There are so many strings pulling him. This set of politicians trying to influence him. But meanwhile, Trump has said that the guy cannot stay in power. There's no way he's going to stay in power because he's not qualified to negotiate, do that negotiation. You know what that means? Zelensky may not be in power for long. Another person is Justin Trudeau, that was doing tariff wars with Trump. Trump just tweeted. Let me show you. Unfortunately, the sites are cut out, okay? But Trump was saying that he had a call. Trudeau of Canada called him. This is after putting tariff. After putting tariff, the next day, you see that Trump increased his own tariff. Now you call him. So I'll continue this in another video. But if you're looking to take advantage of the crypto boom that is coming, Trump has promised to create the greatest crypto economy in the world. That means crypto is going to blow up between now and